Barney Gumble, aka the town drunk, aka, Barney the drunk. I mean, this guy was created to be drunk, so what more could there be to him? Could there be more? Time to find out in the Chronicles of Barney Gumble. Origin story. Every drunkard has an origin story, and the same can be said for Barney Gumble. We can actually trace his origin story back to his years in high school, but before that, you have to understand that Barney wasn't born a regular kid. Yup, there's nothing regular about sharing the same birth date with Adolf Hitler, or having a father who fought in World War II, or having a mother we know very little about. You see, Barney's father, Barney Gumble, was a World War II veteran who died in a 1979 parade float accident, and little is known about his mother except that she lives in Norway and that she served in the United States Navy. Regardless of being not so regular, Barney was a brilliant student in high school with a great potential for a bright future. He was so smart, nothing could stop him from getting into Harvard. Nothing except Homer. Homer, who was supposed to be Barney's neighbor and best friend, introduced Barney to beer on the night before they had to take the SATs. This caused Barney to lose his focus and throw his future all away to become an alcoholic. That's a crazy origin story. So all it took was one beer, huh? I guess there would have been so much more to Barney if Homer didn't introduce him to beer that night. I mean, it has also been implied that another reason he became a drunkard was because his high school sweetheart, Chloe Talbot, left Springfield to become a successful TV reporter. But drunk or not, his friendship with Homer was written in stone. They became best friends in high school who often hung out at Moe's Tavern, and Barney was a loyal friend to Homer even though Homer sometimes took advantage of him or neglected him. Barney also befriended Moe, the bartender, although he was often abused by him. The B Sharps. Barney Gumble is quite the singer as well. Matter of fact, he discovered his talent for singing in the restroom of Moe's Tavern, where he sang in a beautiful tenor voice. As a result of this, he was invited to join a barbershop quartet with Homer, Apu, and Skinner called the B Sharps, formed by the former in the 1980s. Bart and Lisa find an old record album of the B Sharps at a flea market. They're surprised to see their father on the cover and ask him to tell them the story of the band. Homer agrees, and the episode flashes back to 1985 when Homer discovers Barney's singing talent in the restroom of Moe's Tavern. Homer decided to form a barbershop quartet with Barney, Apu, and Skinner, who were also regulars at the bar. They named themselves the B Sharps after a musical joke that Homer made. The band soon became popular in Springfield and attracted the attention of a British manager named Nigel. Nigel helped them get a record deal, and they released their first album, Meet the B Sharps. The group also became famous and won a Grammy Award. However, Barney's downfall, and in fact that of the group, was his relationship with a Japanese conceptual artist named Akira. She influenced Barney to adopt a more avant-garde style of singing, which alienated him from the rest of the group. She also made him drink a concoction of placenta and Guinness, which worsened his alcoholism. Barney and Akira eventually broke up, and Barney returned to his old ways. Old habits die hard, they say. The band decided to split up, and each member went on to pursue their own careers. Homer went back to his job at the nuclear power plant, Apu became the owner of the Quickie Mart, Skinner resumed his role as the principal of Springfield Elementary, and Barney became a human guinea pig for medical research facilities. Barney's Jobs. Barney once volunteered as a guinea pig to be a test subject for medical research facilities where he was exposed to various drugs and treatments. He did this for the money and the free booze, but he also suffered from many side effects such as memory loss, hallucinations, and mutations. He once grew a second head which he named Vincent. You could hear the townsmen making snide comments about Vincent the Piglet, snort snort. In Season 11, Episode 18, Days of Wine and Doses, Barney revealed that he had a natural ability to fly helicopters, which he learned from a correspondence course. He got a job as a helicopter pilot for Channel 6 News, where he worked with Kent Brockman and Arnie Pye. He also helped Homer save his marriage by flying him to Las Vegas, where he married a stripper named Ginger. However, he lost this job after he crashed his helicopter into a giant beer mug, which triggered his alcoholism again. This was just a silly hindrance, and Barney soon found another money magnet. He was selected as an astronaut by NASA after he beat Homer in a physical and mental competition. Barney was supposed to go to space with Buzz Aldrin and Race Banyan, but he relapsed after he drank non-alcoholic champagne. He instead hijacked the rocket and flew it to Moe's Tavern, where he crashed into the parking lot. He was then arrested and kicked out of the space program. Barney also volunteered as a donor at the local sperm bank and made all the town's women wonderful baby mamas whose babies snored all over the place just like their father. You see, Barney is an excellent example of one bad turn deserves another. Maybe that's not how it's said, but tell that to Barney, who soon joined the army along with Homer, Lenny, Carl, and Moe after they were tricked by a fake recruiter. He was assigned to a special unit led by Colonel Leslie Hapablap that was sent to invade Springfield. Barney was captured by his own friends and family who rebelled against the army, but was later released and returned to civilian life. As you can see, Barney's jobs were not very fulfilling or rewarding. He always ended up back at Moe's Tavern, where he spent most of his time and money. He never found his true calling or passion, and he never settled down with anyone. He was a loyal friend to Homer, but was also sad and lonely.
There's nothing wrong with a little healthy competition.
Respected auteur. Barney surprised everyone when he won the top prize at the Springfield Film Festival for his moving documentary about his life as an alcoholic titled Pocahontas. The film was a masterpiece of cinema verite, capturing Barney's raw emotions, struggles, and regrets. The film was praised by the critics and the audience, and Barney received a standing ovation. He dedicated his award to Homer, who gave him his first beer and his first camera. Urgh. For somebody like Barney with a non-existent emotional side life, this scene must have been a bit too touchy. But Barney's film career was, well, as you'd imagine, a fluke. He made the film by accident after he found a video camera in a dumpster and decided to record his thoughts and actions. He had no idea what he was doing, and he did not even edit the footage. He just submitted the tape to the festival, hoping to win some money from more booze. He did not expect to become a respected auteur, and he did not know how to handle the fame and attention. And so, when these came around, Barney wasted his money and fame and returned to his drunken lifestyle. He also made a sequel to his film called Pocahontas 2: The Barfening, which was a disaster. The film was a boring and repetitive montage of Barney vomiting at various locations, such as the Statue of Liberty, the Eiffel Tower, and the Great Wall of China. The film was panned by the critics and the audience, and Barney was booed off the stage. He lost his credibility and respect and became a bundle of humor. You can see that Barney's film career was a brief and tragic episode that showed his potential and talent, but also his lack of discipline and vision. He was a one-hit wonder who could not repeat his success or find his voice. And as it's often the case, after every fall from grace, Barney went back to his all-time best pal, beer. Sobriety. There are times Barney does try to stop being a drunkard, just like that time he had a moment of clarity when he saw his birthday party video, which showed him as a pathetic drunk who was mocked by his friends. He decided to quit drinking and joined Alcoholics Anonymous with the help of his sponsor, Ned Flanders. Barney's sobriety was a shock to everyone, especially Homer, who missed his drinking buddy and his crazy adventures. Homer felt left out and lonely and was treated as the new Barney at Moe's Tavern. He had to endure the insults and pranks of Moe, Lenny, and Carl, who forced him to perform drunken antics. Barney tried to make amends for his past behavior and invited Homer to a helicopter ride. They argued about Barney's new lifestyle and Homer's unhappiness, and Barney admitted he still missed beer sometimes. He also confessed that he had not finished his flying lessons yet and panicked when he had to land the helicopter on a bridge. You could see the danger and unhealthy association at this point on the bridge, although something remarkable also came of it. They saw a Duff beer truck that had spilled its contents. Barney was tempted to drink the beer, but Homer stopped him and drank it all himself to save his friend from relapsing. Barney was touched by Homer's gesture and realized that he still cared for him. They hugged and reconciled, and Barney thanked Homer for being a true friend. But if you think this is one of those and they lived happily ever after, with Barney having a transformed life series, think again, because Barney's sobriety did not last long. He relapsed several times due to various triggers such as non-alcoholic champagne, beer fumes, and placenta. He eventually gave up on trying to quit drinking and accepted his fate as a drunk. He also lost his job as a helicopter pilot and went back to being a human guinea pig. Barney's sobriety was a noble attempt, but it was doomed to fail. He was too addicted to alcohol and too weak to resist it. He also did not have much support from his friends, who preferred him as a drunk after all. Barney's future. In season 23, episode 9, Holidays of the Future Past, Homer invites Barney to live with him and his family after Moe's Tavern is closed down. Barney is grateful, but his presence is not always welcome and he often causes trouble and annoyance. He eats all the food, breaks the furniture, and makes a mess. He also interferes with Homer's marriage and flirts with Marge. He even tries to seduce Homer's robot clone, who rejects him and electrocutes him. He also reveals that he has a tattoo of Marge on his chest, which makes Homer angry. The episode is set 30 years in the future and shows how the lives of Barney, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie have changed. You can see that Barney's future is not very bright, according to the Simpsons' future episodes. He's still a drunk and still hangs out at Moe's Tavern. He has not aged well and has lost most of his hair and teeth. He has also gained a lot of weight and has a beer belly. He has not achieved much in his life and has no family or love interest. That's just sad. In this narrative, we've looked at the entire timeline of Barney Gumble, the town drunk of Springfield and one of Homer Simpson's best friends. His timeline is really a roller coaster of emotions, and if you enjoyed this video, do well to like, share, and subscribe, and flip the notification bell to keep getting more amazing content.